The after party, please.
Don't you need to tell me?
Oh God, the speech jamming is happening again.
Welcome everyone to the after party. Don't mind the Blair Witch Project going on in the corner. If you don't know what episode this is attached.
Oh, he left, but he's still there.
That
was the Witch Project.
Yeah, there you go. Patrick was having some technical difficulties at home. He's pretending his power was out so he could invade Justin's home and hang out for a little bit.
Justin, you should repeat this.
Repeat what?
That we think he's lying.
Yeah.
Oh, we totally think Patrick's lying.
No. We don't think he's lying.
We know.
We did Google it. We looked up to see power outages in the area. He's got.
Yeah, but do we know if he was smart enough to check his circuit breaker?
No.
If I was lying about my power going out, I would have just stayed at home playing Nintendo.
Yeah, he doesn't understand how home invasions work, but that's fine. Thank you, Patrick.
Let's be honest. He even found a way to get himself into a private room. He could have taken what he wanted.
Next, it's going to be using Justin's shower, and then his. Never mind.
Pat, you know what you could have done? You could have used your mobile hotspot on your phone and just use your laptop at home.
Well, he needs to charge it though too.
Yeah. I think his laptop basically dies as soon as it's not charging.
Gotcha.
This week on Starfinder, we tested out Blitzer Ball, which I think there's some merit to, but I think is probably way more interesting in an actual physical tabletop format.
Yes.
I didn't love it in the Roll20, but I think with a couple of drinks, you could actually make a game out of this.
I would be much more compelled to play it. Like, I don't know if it's just because of my love of Blitzer Ball or Blitzball, but I feel like a game of this style could work very well.
I feel like some of the stats definitely need to change up, though, because currently I don't think it's possible for anybody to break through more than one person.
No,
that's accurate, though.
Actually, yeah. Like, they blast a single person.
Well, that's where I come
into if they roll low. But it's part of the game to force you to pass.
Finally, I got rid of him
as well.
I feel like Blitzer Ball would have been better, like one-on-one.
What would have been better one-on-one?
One person playing against one other person, like play it like Blood Bowl style or something.
Yeah, and that's also something that would probably be in review. I don't know if it would make sense to have you guys all have individual players. But again, there's a lot of stat tracking the way you do it on a tabletop, but whenever you play Blood Bowl or something like that, it's usually 1v1. So Justin's probably right that this is a better 1v1 setup. And honestly,
if my plan goes accordingly, we really wouldn't have to worry about it.
You gotta take out the goalie?
Oh yeah.
Nice,
hands down.
Yeah.
The reason why I curled up into a ball is because I have a move called defensive charge.
Oh.
It gives me a bonus to reposition.
That's a racial?
Yeah.
So the defensive charge is also.
It's like I have to be in the ball. I can't substitute for an attack, but I get a bonus to either reposition or bull rush. And if I roll nicely, he's gone.
If you don't, you're gone.
No, I just stop it in his face.
Oh.
I thought you were just going to try and grab the ball and literally sprint through the goal.
Oh no! But
I thought so too.
I thought he was going to act as a ball,
grab it, and
get a goal.
Poof.
Sheercat doesn't understand the rules, so she was just gonna. I was the ball and I went through the net.
Basically,
right.
I wouldn't have allowed Sheercat ball to get a point, but Sheercat with the ball going through the net would have allowed for a point.
Cool.
Which is
happens.
Not how any of it works, but it's funny to me, so I would have allowed it.
And Sheercat has no idea what sports.
It'd make good for TV.
And I think I'm playing it right. I've never seen Blitzball ever.
Because you're dumb.
I don't like the aesthetic of Final Fantasy X in general.
Can we just
you're dumb.
take a second to realize how just out there Final Fantasy X is?
I love it.
Like, it's like, you think about it, it's like this athlete in this crazy, stupid water soccer, football, whatever thing goes to another world because his father, who was also a star athlete in this.
Spoiler
same
alert!
game
if you haven't played the game,
went there. And,
Yeah,
I haven't
and
played it.
major spoilers.
Oh yeah, major spoilers for a game that came out like what, 16 years ago? I don't know, 12 years ago, whatever it was.
2006.
Okay, so 12 years. Oh, 13, right?
2006.
I'm
It
bad
did not
at
come out in
No,
2006.
I think it was 2001.
I graduated high school in 2006. It definitely did not come out in 2006.
Well, I mean, still, that's not even a spoiler. That's not even a spoiler.
You're about to get real spoilers.
No, I wasn't gonna go into the spoilers.
His
You're
father,
making
who's a
spoiler by
giant
saying
whale.
it's a spoiler. Anyways, what even happened? Like, what even? Why?
I mean, I
That's so
kind of
weird.
like that though because it is out there.
Oh yeah,
it's,
no, I'm not saying it's bad.
it's
I'm
not.
just saying
Oh,
it's like,
I'm a boy, and I guess I'm the big hero who's gonna save the day.
yeah, but just how like crazy is that? Where it's just like, no, this dude's like a sportsman, and he's going to another world because of sports.
Honestly, he's actually one
not
of the
really
best
sports, but, you know.
fit, not including your clouds and your squalls. He's one of
No
your
cloud, no squall.
yeah, he's one of your best set up characters to
Yeah.
be like a hero type because he's got the athletic build. He's not some farm boy who, wakes up and has to now handle things. I'm trying to remember
Right.
all the protagonists I remember from Final Fantasy.
I mean,
And
Zidane fits it pretty well.
Man, so I don't know if anybody has paid attention. I think I posted it in my Discord, maybe the Never Split the Party Discord, not on Twitter yet, but I have a lot of theories going on. Okay, Kylo Ren is just Seymour from Final Fantasy X,
I remember
but
you
copy
saying that.
pasted into Star Wars. And I got a whole bunch of evidence. Be prepared for that. Follow me on Twitter
Oh,
or
boy.
join the Discord.
evidence
working on
is
it.
not necessarily how I would describe the things you bring up for that, but I look forward to seeing the Twitter tirade.
But also, Zidane, he's really just a worse cloud.
I don't like that Titus's canonical, like, the way that you say his name is actually
Nope, doesn't
Titus.
exist.
It's Titus.
Don't say it.
That's
Nope.
That's dumb. That's not how you say that name. It's
You-
a real name that exists, and that's not how
okay.
you say it,
So he's a character, right? Based around water.
right?
Let's call him Titus.
Yeah.
No, Titus.
Also, hey, wait a second. What is up with Zidane or Zidane, however you want to say it? What's up with his name not being anything to do with anything? Because you got Cloud, you got Squall, you got Lightning, you got Titus, you got but then there's Zidane. Like, what? That's not a thing. That's not like a
Have you Googled to make
force
sure
of-
it's not a
force
thing?
of nature, is it?
I don't know. I've never heard of it before. Apparently, there's a.
I very
French
much liked
former
all
football
of the
player.
characters. Most of the characters in 9.
Nine's my favorite.
Amarin could
100%.
get bent,
Am I gonna get wicked spoiled if I read this?
What?
probably.
What? You haven't played 9?
No, I haven't played 9.
Oh, what?
Wow.
That's my favorite, except for I agree, the gameplay of it isn't the greatest. Like, the battle system is kind of shit.
Is it
But,
ATB?
Spoop. It is,
Yep.
but it's real slow.
It
to the
is
point where,
very
like,
slow.
There is a
Still not
My
boss.
enough.
problem with Amaranth is that he's introduced way too late in the game.
Oh yeah.
There's
Oh, yeah.
always that one character.
So
Way too. But even Vincent was fucking awesome, spooping awesome.
Outside of his limit break,
Mm.
in which you couldn't control him.
Mm.
It's like,
Well-
oh, fire weakness enemy, right? I'm just gonna keep healing you. Oh, all right, thanks, Vincent.
But
I don't know. I always
Dane
found it
literally
too
has no
slow,
meaning I can find.
but I love that game. It's my favorite. But the battle system's definitely got some problems because, especially like heat. If you get the heat status, it's like attack that guy. 20 minutes later, oh, somebody gave my dude heat, and he finally attacked and dies instantly because that's what heat does. Gross.
9 is very difficult to like plan around because of the weird turn delay.
Yeah.
Like you can be like, okay, I'm gonna heal you.
Oh, they died. Now I heal you.
Yep.
Oh, you're dead.
Oh,
Never
but it
mind.
doesn't do anything. You're dead already.
Yeah, that's not gonna get me to ever play that game. You've officially killed it.
It's not,
Which is
like-
the
favorite
story
number
is
games.
great. I really like
Yeah.
the story.
One
All
of
the
my favorite number
characters
games.
outside of Amaranth, great.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't like the Final Fantasy monsters. So seeing the same ones repeated forever honestly just bores the crap out of me. The only time I like them is in the tactics games.
I was gonna say Final Fantasy Tactics, man. Oh, so good. So
Tactics
good.
When you play
No,
the
Tactics
real
Advance
tactics,
is just not. No.
Tactics Advance is good too.
no, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
Advance.
sorry.
Justin
is
Tiebreaker.
garbage.
Good.
Oh yeah,
bad,
I love
or okay.
Tactics Advance. Like,
I love Tactics
Boom.
Advance.
Boom.
Great.
See,
Good.
it's
It's a
good.
good
You
game.
heard it here.
I've
I don't
seen the
care if
list
it's
of
not
games he
better than-
plays. It doesn't count.
Tactics is better, but
yeah, I'm not
Tactics
saying
Advance is
I'm not saying
fine.
it's better than standard Tactics, but as
It's still a
as
good
a
game.
standalone game, it is a good game regardless.
I would like
Right,
an actual.
but we're talking
tactics-
about which one's better.
Well, no, I'm not arguing
I'm not
about which one's better.
arguing which one's better.
Chris refuses to acknowledge Advance exists.
I hate it.
No, the main character is garbage. Shadow, you are right. What is
Fucking garbage.
God, why can't I remember his
Marsh.
name? Which one was Ramza?
March.
Was that Tactics?
Ramza's Tactics.
Ramza.
Okay,
March
then I don't
is
remember the-
Tactics Advance.
Okay, all right. Yeah, he was garbage. Actually, all of the cast were garbage, kind of.
Except
Ritz-
for Sid, because Sid is always good.
Sid was great. Sid
You
was
know
good, but
what?
Ritz is,
I don't
Ritz
think-
is dumb. What's
Even
the-
even Algus from Tactics is my least favorite character, but he's such a bad enemy. Ugh.
What is up with that name change from World of Lions? Like, what is up with that?
I'm not sure. It is kind of
And
weird.
do you know he's a boss in Final
Wait.
Fantasy 14?
What's his?
no, I
He's a
didn't.
raid boss in Final Fantasy 14.
Is he really?
He is really.
That makes me so
It's
happy.
fantastic.
Which name? Which character? What's the new name?
Algus. It went from like Algus to like
I've only played War of the Lions.
I only knew it because I haven't played World of Lions, so I
I
didn't
have the
know.
PlayStation version. Actually, I just never played it very long. But the War of the Lions, I played all the way through, twice.
Argath. It changed to
Oh,
Argath.
Argath, yeah.
Okay.
It must be just
Seems
there was a lot
random.
of things that were lost in translation from the PS1 to War of the Lions. Oh my god, yeah. Minor villain, and he is oh, I just love to hate him.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, there's actually a whole
He's
Evilise
basically
raid
this
in
Minor Dio. Minor Dio. I'd actually put him.
Yeah, you know that, Chris? There's actually a whole raid based around Evilise and Tactics and Final Fantasy 12 in
That's really
Final
cool.
Fantasy 14.
It's not going to get me to play
It is
it.
really cool. No, but
because it's an MMO.
it is just
and
really cool.
I won't do it. I won't do it. It's like, hey, you recovering heroin addict, you want some heroin? It's like,
But 14 is so good. Like
It is
It-
really
it's
it's
MMOs,
seriously
man.
my favorite MMO.
Really
It is
good
just
heroin,
really good
Chris.
Heroin is my favorite drug. It's seriously a great drug. No, like I will lose my life. I have no
Could someone clip
self-control.
that?
Heroin is a great drug.
It's his
You got it,
favorite
Steve.
drug. I'm done with MMOs. After the Old Republic, which is like the only story heavy one, and that's why I got to play it at the time. Anyways, I just was completely done with the
Because you didn't
gameplay.
play with us.
I tried. You guys played 1 too much and 2 always at weird times. I was living that RD lifestyle, which when I played it, actually it was me that played it weird.
If
times.
you guys are looking for an MMO home, I've been playing every Sunday before I did the solo Waka thing.
Yeah, I don't want to play Final Fantasy at all. Yeah, and MMO style of games actually drives me batty. I hate it. Justin knows my long complaints about Dragon Quest Inquisition, which did well.
Dragon Quest Inquisition?
Yeah, Dragon
Sorry,
Quest,
Dragon,
Inquisition, Dragon Age
Age.
Builders.
Sorry, Dragon Age, Inquisition, and I hate it because they did it like a one-player MMO. It literally plays like a one-player MMO with random mobs that respawn with all your like abilities on the bar. God, no, I hate it all. Not impressed. Yeah.
Oh, I hate that Gafgarian fight. That I was stuck on that for the longest time, and I had to have
No,
Chris come over and beat it for me.
Wait,
It was-
which
it was
one? The one where
Ygraph.
you're behind the wall?
Oh yeah, it was Ygraph, not Gafgarian.
Ygraph is
Yeah.
the fight.
Ygraph.
The
sucks.
one-on-one inside the thing?
Yes.
That after you beat him, he then become...
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I had a cheap tactic for that. I would just sit there and use focus for about 30 turns, and then I'd one-shot him, and then I'd one-shot him again.
I don't remember having a single problem with that game.
The way
ever.
I did it in my first playthrough, so it was first off the game that I learned that you never save when the game asks you if you want to save, or if you do, you create a new goddamn.
Nope, that's what happened to me because I was unprepared and I
got
saved
stuck on it, and then
true.
it was like, wait, I have a pretty good move. Why don't I turn myself into a chemist and just go from corner to corner and just shoot them? So that was it.
Yeah, tactics games are always ones that I'm better at, so I don't think I remember struggling at a single encounter. Also, they probably made it easier in War of the Lions, right? They must have done something.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember struggling at all. Yeah. I remember getting Cloud. That was fun.
I can beat it now, but like back when I didn't really
That's
play
fair.
those types
Legitimately
of games.
my first tactical game.
I think the only does Ogre Battle 64 count as tactics? It's not really.
It's like half.
Kinda. That final boss for that game is the only boss that's ever really given me trouble. Not including bonus Final Fantasy bosses as a rule, they all suck. But standard boss that gave me trouble was the last boss for Ogre Battle 64. Alaroon or whatever.
I don't remember.
It's a plant person.
It was a game that I never owned. I actually rented it every week, and I'm not sure if I finished it.
I would be interested in seeing how that plays now. I feel like it probably didn't age well.
I don't think it aged well.
I probably didn't age well, but I've played the other Ogre's Tactics games, which are fine. They're actually quite good. And if you haven't, Chris, they're definitely worth it. They're definitely up your alley. They're basically clones of Final Fantasy Tactics with more. No, I'd say the story's even on the same par. I was gonna say more mundane, but it's not more mundane. Final Fantasy Tactics kept things.
Oh my gosh! I mean, the tactics, the story, man.
Tactics Ogre or Ogre Tactics, I forget what they ended up calling it. It actually gets a benefit. Knight of Lotus. It does the story a little bit. It goes like one further because there's actually important decisions you can make that actively change which path you're on. Where Final Fantasy Tactics didn't quite commit to that, and even Ogre Battle only pretended to commit to that.
That was one of my only complaints about Final Fantasy Tactics is that once you got a character, any character like named special character, they no longer had anything to do with the plot.
I hate it when that happens in games. It happens a lot.
Agrius, TG Sid, I mean, just everybody.
If you guys like Final Fantasy Tactics so much, releasing just 2 days ago, Agrius joined in Final Fantasy Dissidia Opera Omnia.
Yeah,
I actually really liked Agrius' character.
I liked Agrius too. I have a weird relationship with
Everyone.
tactics RPGs because like I like them and on paper I love tactical RPGs. I think they're great. They're just the slowest thing though, and I cannot do it. They hold my attention for like a few missions, and then I'm like, I just don't want to play this anymore because it's just so slow.
But
have you tried the new Fire Emblem games? Awakening.
I did like the newer Fire Emblem games, but the same thing happened. I just get bored with it. Especially
they're much
Fire Emblem
faster and they're way more forgiving. You can actually blitz through those games.
Like I played a ton of Fire Emblem back when I was younger, when they were coming out on like Game Boy Advance and stuff, I had a lot more patience for them back then. Now I don't have any patience for them, and I wish that I would like some sort of real-time aspect in there with it, like Super Mario RPG style, hit the button when you, do something. I would love that. Some sort of like rhythm-based
I
thing.
want to stay out of my Fire Emblems and Final Fantasy Tactics.
Do you think?
My issue with tactical RPGs is
you like advanced.
No, that's not it. A long time ago, I bought this game here, Record of Agarist War.
Oh,
that looks like Zero, Nick. That's not quite the same one.
It is a little different.
That's what I thought. Don't question me on my waifu games, Nick.
But yeah, so I started playing this game. I got maybe 10 to 15 missions in. The game is so hard.
That's also a bad example because it doesn't change. That game stays consistently boring with combat. And it's all about setting patterns.
Right.
They're releasing a new game where they're trying a different thing with combat, though.
So is it just this game and I should try another tactical RPG?
Oh, that's not a good example. That's a terrible example of a tactical
Okay.
What you
RPG.
should try is the
Because this
original
turned me off of
Final Fantasy
tactical
Tactics.
RPGs.
Oh, no. That is the worst example of a tactical RPG I've ever seen.
Okay.
It's not about fields. You're not supposed to move yourself around the field in that game. You're supposed to only make the patterns that trigger your massive combo abilities. That's not what SRPGs
Okay, that's
are
not my
about.
go.
I think those games are okay for what they are, but I would not consider that like a true SRPG at all. Sorry to interrupt you, Chris.
Oh no, I was saying if you want to play a good one, just play the OG Final Fantasy Tactics. I've
Yeah.
been saying it for years. I'll even buy it for you.
We
Like,
started,
I even,
then we stopped.
I even love
Nick,
it.
I've got Super Robot Wars, which are pretty basic entries because they're not difficult at all, but they're SRPGs that are really standard. Or you could pick up the I don't know how to say it, Disgaea games.
Disgaea.
Oh, Disgaea is
Very
Those-
grindy.
They're very grindy,
yes.
but they're good examples. They're
It was
better
a
than
waste of
Right.
money in my
Aggro
style.
War.
It was too cringy. I couldn't.
See, that part didn't bother me so
Oh,
much,
God.
but once I saw like how much grinding needed to be done, I'm like, these are already really long.
First
You
time.
don't need to do the grinding for the story. It's all the extra stuff.
It's also I didn't like any aspect of it.
Come on, dude.
Even down to the music. Like the music was just like too J-pop.
Are you talking about number one, Disgaea 1?
No, whatever the most recent one was. I think
5?
five.
Whatever
Oh,
the
I
one
like
was for
5.
Switch.
I
Yeah.
thought 5 was pretty decent, actually. And
Oh,
I
I hate
didn't
it.
love 1, but I thought 5 was pretty good.
Let's see. I actually uninstalled it on my.
Adek, you want to look at is Adek Scott still? Am I mixing up names? I
I'm
don't remember the chat names throw me off. Adek, check out if you haven't the Valkyria Chronicles series. They
Oh,
run
Valkyria
similar
Chronicles.
where
Very good.
it's like a tactical RPG. That's not really a safe way to say it, but with third-person shooter elements, definitely worked in there, and they are very good.
See, and
The
that's
first
what I
one,
can do.
the first one's great, but like difficulty randomly ramps up.
At
The
chapter
fourth-
7 or whatever it
Oh,
was.
that tank.
Yep.
Fourth one is actually the second one released in English on a main console, and it's totally fine to play them in that order, 1 and 4 or 4 and 1. They're not super tied together. 4 is fantastic, and they finally, in my opinion, got the difficulty just right when they introduced the super overpowered
good to know.
enemies. You were able to deal with them in an appropriate manner, and that game is beautiful. It has the waifu effect, sort of. You don't really choose anything, but it still has like all the characters you can kind of spend time with in terms of like extra missions. It has a lot of characters that you can use throughout the missions. It does have that thing where you can recruit special characters that are
Cities played
different
them.
story elements, which is a bummer. But yeah, I think that game is fantastic. I wish that they tried being a little more mainstream with some things because I think that's a solid game.
I really like the diversity of like the different characters, even though they're the same unit. They all are very interesting to just like have on your team or converse with.
You know what's pretty good? Hogs of War.
Don't think I've ever-
Basically, Valkyria
Never
Chronicles.
played
but
Hogs
with
of War. Did you guys
pigs.
ever play General Chaos on the Genesis? That
No.
was very interesting. I like that game. That's probably my like awakening to strategy games was General Chaos.
Shining Force 2.
There
I actually
was
still haven't played Shining
I never had Xbox, so I couldn't play it, or until I got the Xbox One. But at that point, I missed it. There was a fantasy style like XCOM game that I can't remember the name to, that I really wanted to try out.
Was it King's Bounty?
No, something tells me it's like Chalice of something, or
I'm pretty Front Mission, great series. I'm pretty down with my SRPGs. I can't think of something that I'd consider XCOM like and fantasy, but I might be taking the XCOM like too literally.
Was the game you were thinking of, Nick, like indie game?
I'm not sure. It very well could be.
There's Wargroove. That
My
just came out
first
recently.
result is Massive Chalice is what came up with XCOM Chalice game.
That sounds right. I'm pretty sure I actually played that.
Massive Chalice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not heard of it, but you've triggered
That's
my
a great
SRPG.
name, and I love it.
It seems like it seems interesting for a name. All right, the art styles reminds
play-
me of
I want to play
Banner
Big
Saga.
Cup.
Fuck you, Justin.
Now, I've legit never heard of this, and you're right. It does look like Fantasy XCOM. Well, this is
It
going.
looks like it's on Steam. I'm gonna look at that right now.
Yep,
But-
that's a problem.
Yeah, I got that for free.
Oh, lucky. Did you play it at all?
Little.
I love XCOM. The
Yeah,
XCOM
XCOM's
Enemy Unknown and the XCOM 2. Freaking love those. The original XCOMs are still good, but those new ones are. I've honestly put the most hours into those games probably than any.
Mostly positive.
I don't. I've heard of Shining Force. I've never played that one. Not played that one either.
I prefer
That's
Shining Force
one.
2 over Shining Force 1 just because the controls in Shining Force 1 are kind of annoying whenever you want to talk to somebody. You got to open a menu, then hit talk, and then you talk to them
Oh.
instead of just having one button. But Shining Force 2 is amazing, and that was like the first one that I really sunk time into.
So, did anybody else here play Mario plus Rabbids? Because if you haven't, go play that game if you love strategy games.
I don't like Mario. I don't like Rabbids. Game was still very entertaining. I didn't finish it, but I think probably halfway through the game, and the characters were enough that I couldn't keep going.
You don't play it for the
Gameplay
story,
was
100%.
Super good though. Like they had a lot of clutch elements they introduced. They actually, in a lot of ways, added really like revitalizing things to a strategy RPG, and the different mission types I thought were very good.
The movement mechanics, my favorite thing, hands down.
I had some issues with line of sight and how they determine line of sight, and I will die on that hill. But otherwise, I thought that there was a lot about good with that game. This game that I'm playing right now is I don't know what screen I'm going to be on when I open.
What were we saying, Justin?
Invisible Ink is pretty good. That's one that I really liked.
I bought that and I haven't played it.
That one was really cool because it was like it's a kind of a tactical RPG, but without
combat.
You're like it's a stealth game. Like I really liked that. I thought that was cool. That was one
Super
that I
Robot War
stuck with.
T. I really enjoy. It's like a standard SRPG, but it puts me to sleep because, like Justin says, it's not necessarily super engaging at all times, and this one doesn't have a lot of difficulty curve. So I will definitely like when I need to go to sleep, like and I'm like staying up too late, I'll play that and pass out. Did you get far through Invisible Ink?
I can't remember.
Did that have co-op or not?
Actually, I don't know. I know it's more roguelike-ish in its execution, so it's like
you go through like 3 missions and then there's like a final mission or something.
I like the art style.
It looks everything about the game is good, and they even did some free DLC for it that improved the couple of issues the game had. I just haven't played it yet. I don't know why. I own it. I should really play that.
All right, so I'm actually going to be bouncing.
Yeah,
I gotta go to bed. I am super exhausted.
It's about time we head out, as we always do. We're going to be raiding somebody.
All right.
Raiding this time, Nicholas. Are they closing up shop as we raid them?
No. So I've been lurking for like 10 minutes or like 15 minutes. And 15 minutes ago, they had a stream that was like, we'll be back in 10. And they are back. So.
All right. I put the raid command or the raid chat line in the chat. Never split the raid. When we raid them, just say, post that or copy paste that. You're good to go. What are they playing?
We are going to be raiding the Retcon artists, and they are playing some Dungeons and Dragons. They're in the middle of, or they're on episode 3, so still quite fresh.
Cool. Check them out. If you guys like them, say where you came from, and then creep the hell out of them. Hopefully we see you guys next Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. EST, where we play a little bit of Blitzball, and then I blow it all up.
Yeah, thanks for coming by, everybody. Welcome, ADEC. Thanks for dropping by for the first time.
And Scott, when you watch this, I'm so sorry. I can't keep track of all your names. All right. Peace out, guys.
Bye, everybody.